Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to welcome in our midst today the chief guest for this evening's function, Mr. Piyush Goyal, the Honorable Minister of Railways and Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Please join me in welcoming him with a huge round of applause. And along with him, joining us on stage now, Mr. Sanjay Kirloskar, President, All India Management Association and Chairman and Managing Director, Kirloskar Brothers Limited, Mr. Harshpati Singhania, Senior Vice President, All India Management Association and Vice Chairman and Managing Director, JK Paper Limited, and Ms. Rekha Sethi, Director General, All India Management Association. I extend a warm welcome to you all on the stage. With that, may I request Ms. Rekha Sethi, Director General IMA, to please deliver the introductory remarks. Please welcome with a round of applause.
Mr. Piyush Goyal, Minister of Railways and Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Mr. Sanjay Kirloskar, President IMA, Mr. Harshpati Singhania, Senior Vice President IMA, distinguished award winners, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to have you with us on IMA's very special day. Many thanks for joining us for the 64th Foundation Day of IMA today. Honorable Minister, it is a privilege to have you on the IMA platform. We are grateful to you for joining us despite many demands on your time. A distinguished political leader and policy thinker, you have been a standout economic minister and have served the country with great distinction. You have transformed the ministries of coal, power, renewable energy, railways, finance, and commerce and industry during your various tenures, and it is a great honor for us that you have agreed to address India's management leadership today. Many thanks for joining us this afternoon, and do welcome him with a warm round of applause. Mr. Kirloskar, Mr. Singhania, it is a pleasure to have you with us today. Your leadership inspires IMA to do better, and I thank you for your time and guidance. It is great to see so many of IMA's past presidents, council members, and die-hard IMA friends. Your commitment to IMA and your wise counsel make IMA stronger, and we are truly blessed to have your support. A warm welcome to all of you. This day marks another milestone in IMA's journey of excellence. Today, we celebrate excellence in management and present IMA awards to some very outstanding achievers. Mr. Ramadurai, Dr. Sodhi, Mr. Harish Bhatt, Mr. Atul Jain, Mr. Adhar Jain, it is our honor to felicitate you. Many thanks for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, 64 years ago, All India Management Association was founded to spread management know-how in the country, and it is a testimony to the leaders of the association through the years that IMA continues to show the way forward to Indian management. IMA has remained nimble through the changing times, and it continues to reinvent itself to serve Indian management in every business environment. IMA's Foundation Day is also observed as the National Management Day all over the country, and I'm delighted that the local management associations in different states and regions are also celebrating IMA's anniversary. This is also an occasion to remind ourselves of the tasks at hand and look at the path ahead. IMA is a knowledge organization, and we celebrate every Foundation Day with a discussion on a key management issue of national importance. Today is no different. IMA has dedicated this year to the theme, Winning in the Digital Age, and I'm so pleased that we have created awareness about the challenges and opportunities thrown up by digitization. IMA has also helped Indian enterprises tune into the latest management strategies and practices for the digital age. Going forward, Indian management will have to get used to extensive automation. The more data we produce, the smarter the computers get, and artificial intelligence can not only organize information, but it can also act on it. This emerging reality requires Indian enterprises to become more agile and adaptable, and IMA is there to help the management fraternity evolve. Before we proceed further, I want to thank Kirloskar Brothers, our principal sponsors, who have supported today's celebration. With these words, thank you once again for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Mr. Sanjay Kirloskar, President IMA, to please deliver the welcome address.
Mr. Piyush Goyal, Minister of Railways, Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Mr. Harshpati Singhania, Senior Vice President, IMA, and Vice Chairman and Managing Director, JK Paper Limited, Rekha Sethi, Director General, IMA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the celebration of the 64th anniversary of IMA's Foundation Day. This day in 1957, a group of visionaries created IMA as the country's apex management association. A new national association was entrusted with the task of building management capacity for rapid industrialization in the recently independent India. And ever since, IMA has shaped management thinking and practice in our country. IMA continues to be a vital resource of management education, testing, research, and ideas for Indian organizations. And currently, IMA is showing the way forward as the economy moves into the digital age. Today, we are celebrating yet another milestone in IMA's illustrious journey. Honorable Minister, many thanks for joining us this afternoon in our celebration. An outstanding political leader and a highly regarded investment banker, you appreciate the importance of management in ensuring success of any organized enterprise. You've brought exceptional management skills to the government and have done a remarkable job in every ministry you have led. Your astute leadership is a great assurance for our economy in a difficult period. We are grateful to you for agreeing to address IMA on its Foundation Day. A very warm welcome to you, sir. I also welcome all the past presidents, council members, and friends of IMA who have joined us this afternoon. A special welcome to the winners of IMA Awards who are with us. Celebrating outstanding management leadership is central to IMA's purpose, and it's an honor to IMA that they have accepted these awards. A very warm welcome to each one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, these are unprecedented times for Indian management. The pace of technological change is overwhelming, and it's causing great disruption in every sector. New ways of production, distribution, and consumption require new ways of management. Data is becoming pervasive, and this deluge of data is spawning a new industrial revolution. Digitization and automation are here to stay, and managers have to unlearn and relearn to keep up. Management itself is getting automated, and roles of responsibilities and managers are getting redefined. Autonomous machines are taking away a lot of work as well as decision making, and managers have to raise their creativity to stay in the game. IMA has always guided Indian management through every twist and turn through the past 6 decades. Once again, IMA is ahead of the curve and is working to bring Indian management up to speed with the disruptive changes that are taking place. For the past many years, IMA has focused on creating awareness about the impending change and enabling organizations to turn the challenge of technology into opportunity. IMA's theme for this year is Winning in the Digital Age, and its efforts in educating, research, and conferences are geared to help Indian managers make the transition to the new economy. Today, Indian management is facing another challenge in the form of economic slowdown, which hopefully is just a short-term problem. The GDP growth has slipped up, investment and consumption are flagging, financial sector is bogged down by NPAs and liquidity crunch, and the quantity and quality of jobs are short for the country's needs and aspirations. Hopefully, this downturn is just a blip and not a lasting stagnation or stagflation as many fear. Our government has responded to the situation strongly, and the new budget promises to turn things around quickly. The tax cuts, divestment, support to the financial system, and the ease of business measures should revive growth in investment, production, and consumption, as well as jobs. The key to maintaining economic momentum is confidence, because uncertainty is the biggest deterrent to corporate investment and consumer spending. Therefore, it is important to focus more on stability than revolution, especially at a time of great churn in our country. The external economic growth is facing headwinds from trade barriers as well as geopolitical volatility. The new coronavirus outbreak in China has interrupted global supply chains for all kinds of products, and that will have some effect on production in India as well. Indian companies, including the pharma industry, can learn from this disruption and distribute their sourcing as well. India can also attract some of the global manufacturing from China as multinationals look to de-risk their supply chains. Domestic output growth needs immediate injection of cash and long-term visibility of policies and rules. Stability of fiscal and monetary actions will go a long way in boosting investment and consumption. Ultimately, turning the economy around is about turning the narrative. Bad news needs to be acknowledged, and evidence has to be created to replace worries with optimism. Friends, IMA's Foundation Day is an occasion to celebrate excellence in management and to felicitate outstanding business and public service leaders. Today, we honor a doyen of India's IT industry and a leader dedicated to farmer welfare. We also honor outstanding management writing and innovation in small businesses. These awards express IMA's appreciation of special achievements in management and are meant to inspire others to set new standards of excellence. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, we present the IMA Awards of Excellence to distinguished professionals for their outstanding contributions. We begin with presentation of IMA Dr. J.S. Juneja Award for Creativity and Innovation in MSME. Let's watch a short video to introduce the winner of this award while the citation is being read by me. A highly specialized and technology-intensive enterprise, Microlit is an outstanding innovator for its size. It gets its turnover of 18 crore from more than 400 customers in 65 countries. A 100% export-oriented unit, it designs and produces high-precision liquid handling instruments for medical and industrial laboratories. During the past 3 years, the company has obtained patents and design awards for some of its key products. It holds design patents for miniature micropipette with a tip ejector and a dual inlet bottle top dispenser. It has also developed the first Indian touch-screen operated burette with multiple preset speeds. During its small size and limited resources, the company invests in technician training and awards grant for research in healthcare and life sciences. All India Management Association is pleased to present the IMA Dr. J.S. Juneja Award for Creativity and Innovation for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises 2019 to Microlit through its co-founders, Mr. Ajay Jain and Mr. Atul Jain. To receive the award, I invite on stage Mr. Atul Jain, Director Research and Development, and Mr. Adhar Jain, Head Product Development Microlit, to please come on stage. I'll also invite Dr. J.S. Juneja to please join us on stage for the award presentation ceremony. Our heartiest congratulations to Mr. Atul Jain and Mr. Adhar Jain. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we now come to our next award, which is the IMA Dr. Ram Taneja Award for Best Article in Indian Management. Let's watch a short video. While I introduce the winner, ladies and gentlemen, an outstanding business leader and a keen management thinker, he has had a distinguished career in the Tata Group. He has been the Managing Director of Tata Global Beverages and the Chief Operating Officer of Titan. He is now the brand custodian of Tata Sons, besides being a director of many Tata Group companies, including Tata Consumer Product, Trent and Tata Starbucks. An astute marketeer, he was instrumental in the launch of many iconic brands, including Titan, Tanishq, Fast Track and Tata Tea. He also played a key role in acquisition of Tetley by Tata Group and the turnaround of Titan's jewelry business. A renowned expert on marketing and consumer behavior, he is the member of the Board of Governors of the Advertising Standards Council of India and a member of Singapore Government's Consumer Insight Panel. He wrote a seminal article on brand custodianship for IMA's management journal, Indian Management, which was published in the December 2019 issue. The article explained the importance and ways of nurturing a brand for sustained competitiveness and growth. All India Management Association is pleased to present the IMA Dr. Ram Tarneja Award for Best Article in Indian Management 2019 to Mr. Harish Bhatt, Brand Custodian, Tata Sons. I request the Honorable Minister, sir, and other dignitaries to please join us front and center. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Harish Bhatt, who's now joined us on the dais and receiving the award. Congratulations, Mr. Bhatt. I'll request you to kindly share a few words with the audience.
Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a privilege for me to be here and an honor to receive the Dr. Ram Tarneja AIMA Award for the best article in Indian management last year. Honorable Minister, sir, I think there are so many stories of legendary Indian brands, legendary Indian leaders, legendary Indian managers, legendary Indian business houses, which are waiting to be told. And I think all of us who practice management writing, in addition to our job as managers, wish to play a small role in telling these stories to the world at large, which is what I have attempted to do. I would like to dedicate this award to my parents, who first taught me the art of writing. I would like to also thank the Tata Group, where I have worked for the past 33 years as a manager, and the Tata Group has greatly nurtured my love for writing, and it's a privilege to receive this award in front of Mr. Ramadurai, whom all of us adore and admire. And finally, I think I would like to offer my prayers to the goddess Saraswati, at whose feet we all get the gift of knowledge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bhatt. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to our next award, which is the IMA Public Service Excellence Award. Ladies and gentlemen, let's watch the introduction video while the citation is being read. A lifelong champion of the Amul movement, he has played an important role in the White Revolution. For nearly 4 decades, he has devoted himself to the cause of dairy farmers and consumers and transformed India from a milk deficit to a milk-sufficient country. An astute strategist, he has been the driving force behind Amul's strong growth. He has ensured that growing demand for milk products is met by expanding the cooperative network and increasing milk collection from farmers. Amul's network has grown to more than 18,600 cooperatives, 36 lakh farmers, and revenues have reached 33,150 crore during 2018-19. Since taking over as the managing director, he has doubled the price paid to farmers and increased milk procurement by 2.5 times. A close associate of the legendary Dr. Verghese Kurian, he has ensured that Dr. Kurian's values of integrity, dedication, courage, honesty, and commitment to farmers and consumers have remained deeply ingrained in the culture of Amul. All India Management Association is pleased to confer the IMA Public Service Excellence Award for 2019 on Dr. Rupinder Singh Sodhi, Managing Director, Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation. Heartiest congratulations, Dr. Sodhi. I request Dr. Sodhi to kindly share a few words with all of us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Mr. Sir, all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It's a matter of pride and privilege to get this award from the All India Management Association. I'd like to dedicate this award to 3.6 milk producers of Gujarat, and who have total trust and faith in the capabilities and the integrity of the professional like me. These 3.6 million farmers may be economically weak, may not be literate like us, but the wisdom they have got and how they are able to attract, retain, and motivate the professionals like me, it's great. So I'm lucky for that working in such an organization for the last 38 years. I'd also like to dedicate this award to my mentor, Dr. Varghese Kurian, with whom I worked for 30 years, the great visionary who created and provided livelihood to millions of have-nots of India. And I'll also like to dedicate this award to my Amul team, very qualified professionals, very capable, with the highest standards of integrity, and most of them are with me on their first job. And as you know, Amul today is India's biggest FMCG or food company with more than $7 billion turnover. And it's a 72 years organization. In spite of slowdown of this or that, every year we are growing 17 to 18%, and this year also 18%. And well, you know Amul, but Amul is no doubt a public service or people who are working, but it's a well thought business model for the development. Thank you very much, Aima.
Thank you, Dr. Sodhi. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on with that to the final award for the evening, which is Aima Lifetime Achievement in Management Award. Let's watch an introductory video on the winner of this award, while it gives me great honor to read the citation. A visionary and a venerable business leader, he was one of the leaders of India's IT revolution. Mr. Ramadurai took over as the CEO of Tata Consultancy Services in 1996, when the company's turnover was at $155 million. And he retired as the CEO in 2009, leaving a $6 billion global IT services company to his successors. He joined the government's ambitious mission to deliver certified skills to 500 million Indians, and he chaired the National Skill Development Agency and National Skill Development Corporation between 2011 and 2016. Currently, he is contributing to Tata Group's skill development program as the chairman of the advisory board of Tata Strive. Government of India honored him with the prestigious Padma Bhushan in 2006 for his contribution to the country's IT sector, and was also conferred with the Commander of the Order of British Empire in 2009 for his contribution to economic relations between India and Britain. All India Management Association is pleased to present the Aima Lifetime Achievement Award for Management to Mr. S. Ramadurai, Chairman, Tata Technologies and Chairman, Advisory Board, Tata Strive. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome with a huge round of applause Congratulations to Mr. Ramadurai. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome with a huge round of applause Mrs. Ramadurai. Heartiest congratulations to you as well, ma'am. I request Mr. Ramadurai to kindly share his thoughts with us.
Respected Shri Piyush Goyal, Minister of Railways, Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Mr. Sanjay Kirloskar, President, All India Management Association, and Chairman and Managing Director, Kirloskar Brothers Limited, Mr. Harshpati Singhania, Senior Vice President, All India Management Association, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, JK Paper Limited, Ms. Rekha Sethi, Director General, All India Management Association, respected award winners of different categories, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good evening to all of you. I would like to thank the members of the jury of the IMA for this award, and it's a privilege to receive this prestigious award from Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Minister for Railways, Commerce and Industry, Government of India. I would also like to thank all the colleagues who have worked with me on my journey, including all the mentors, and my wife, Mala, who is present here, who has been the strongest supporter and critic throughout my journey. Also wish to thank my family, who are not present here, but of course they need a special mention. I would also like to congratulate Kirloskar brothers for their 100 years, which is an enormous contribution. And also the 64th Foundation Day of IMA, again a very historical significance. I think, ladies and gentlemen, for the most part of my life, I worked for the corporate sector, the Tata Group, and have drawn much inspiration for my work from the shared values and work ethos represented by the group. Needless to say, it has shaped my ideas and influenced my thinking. Looking back, I have a sense of gratification that I have been able to make use of the inclusive environment promoted by the group. I have always believed that it's by giving back to society that one evolves both as a person and as a societal being. With this belief, to the extent possible, I have tried to maximize my position to involve and contribute in other areas of activity in the social sector, including health, education, and culture. And I have given a booklet to each and every one of you, the kind of activities I'm currently involved in. I feel that in India, greater synergies between the corporate and social sectors would yield rich benefits, leading to greater public good. This is my recommendation to the young workforce entering the corporate sector to recognize the value of social and cultural capital of this country, endowed with great natural and human resources. Direct your efforts towards doing your best to the advancement of both the sectors, namely corporate and social. Again, thank you, Emma, for this great award. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you, sir. And heartiest congratulations once again. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the award presentation ceremony. May I request you all to please once again give a big round of applause for all our distinguished awardees. And now it is my pleasure to announce the book launch of Innovation, Key to Success for Enterprise by Dr. J.S. Juneja. May I request Dr. Juneja to please come on stage and introduce the book also. And now I request Dr. Juneja to please come and introduce the book.
Good evening to all of you. Thank you, the Honorable Minister, for releasing his book on innovation, Key to Success for Enterprises. And it is a great honor for all of us. Thank you so much. Let me tell you the first instance. the Department of Science and Technology had conducted a very comprehensive national level survey of 9,001 companies all over the country, which gave a lot of deep insight into innovation by SMEs. The team leader of that, Dr. Praveen Arode, present in the audience, were invited to conduct a sectoral study with some entrepreneurs across the nation, and we found that the innovative companies are witnessing fast growth, whereas non-innovative companies were going down or they were hardly growing, scantily growing. Creativity and innovation were key for growth of an enterprise, which prompted us to write this book. We feel very strongly that the SMEs, all large companies, small companies, they must do the innovation and creativity. The book covers comprehensively entrepreneurial journey on incubation and innovation, and is quite relevant in today's times. It carries several case studies, success stories with practical experience on a vast array of subjects covering evolving strategies for innovation, social entrepreneurship, social innovation, digital transformation, and financing innovations. And let me conclude by saying the ultimate goal of an enterprise should be innovation to succeed in today's era. And I will be failing my duty if I don't thank IMA and the President Sanjay Kirloskar and Senior Vice Presidents Harshvati Singhania, Rekha ji, Director General, Dr. Raj Agarwal, and the Center for Management Education for the wholehearted support. And I will encourage and call upon you that you must read this book. Some of the eminent authors and contributors are with us today. I would like to thank them all for their valuable contribution and time. And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Juneja. Ladies and gentlemen, to commemorate this momentous day today, we will be releasing the IMA's 64th Foundation Day souvenir as well. I request the Honorable Minister and the dignitaries on stage to please come and join us center forward and kindly release the IMA Foundation Day souvenir. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, ma'am, for doing us the honors. May I now invite the Honorable Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, Minister of Railways and Commerce and Industry, Government of India, this evening's chief guest, to kindly deliver the keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give a rousing welcome.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, Sanjay ji, Harshpati ji, Rekha ji, for giving me this opportunity to meet so many wonderful managers who have done our nation proud, the award winners of today, number of friends who are in attendance at your 64th Foundation Day, and also celebrating the 14th National Management Day. All the award winners who have been very rightfully and justfully recognized today, friends who are in the room, Sunil ji, Mr. Juneja, the author of the book on innovation, ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media. At the outset, permit me to congratulate all the winners of different awards this evening. It's truly a very gratifying feeling to receive an award, a recognition for all the hard work, all the good work one does, spanning over decades. And while it does give a sense of satisfaction and happiness to the award winners, I think it also encourages all of us and all the others who will hear about this award to do better in our life, to aspire to be recognized as such. And therefore, each of the award winners, with their inspirational stories, with their work, are not only helping us, giving us an opportunity to recognize them, but helping us also take the message to the rest of the management fraternity. And I must compliment Mr. Ramadurai, Mr. Sodhi, Mr. Bhatt, the Jain family for all the wonderful work, for their contribution to nation building. Each one of them has excelled in their work. Mr. Ramadurai, of course, I've been seeing for decades now, serving first TCS, the Tata Group, and then society as a whole, the nation as a whole, with his wonderful work. I don't think TCS would have been what it is today. And possibly the Tata Group would not have been having their preeminent position today, but for the success of TCS, in which he had one of the most important roles. Of course, none of us would have been successful managers or even reached any element of success, but for our better half or the other half. And clearly, Mrs. Ramadurai has been a pillar of support to him. I've personally been witness to long hours at work, long travels, days at end on the road, but I don't think Mrs. Ramadurai has ever complained. Even when she had to possibly forcibly accompany him on many such occasions, I think she has stood by him. And usually, at least in our Indian families, it's always a very collective effort that goes into our own successes. So compliments to you too, Mrs. Ramadurai. I have known Mr. Sodhi very recently. I don't think we had any great engagement in the past, but I'm happy to share with you that he's one person who stands up for his industry, who stands up for his farmers, who's committed to the cause for which he's working, and has truly kept the Amul flag flying high. Compliments to you for your leadership of Amul, for the good work that you're doing in the cooperative sector, particularly a sensitive sector like milk, and also for keeping millions of people satisfied, millions of people getting a better quality of life through the cooperative movement in milk, and for your leadership of the sector. Of course, service excellence does not mean only excellence in your work in your workplace, but you have really done the country proud with the work that you have done, and we are very, very fortunate to have you at the Amul. And I think all of us look forward to the Amul ad that comes out every few days, including the recent one that I saw. What was it about? It was an interesting theme. I'm missing out on it, but a very, very interesting theme. It was on dad or something of that sort. Sorry? That's right, on the ladies coming up into the army. Right. So really wonderful work happening at Amul. Harish handling the brand, as the brand custodian at Tata Sons. I must say that you took the liberty of thanking Saraswati. If I was to do that, I would be trolled and castigated for being religious in my But that, well, I must say that's very, very nice of you. You've been doing some good work. The Tata Sons is a brand that the entire nation is proud of. You represent 1.3 billion people's aspirations. And I hope Mata Saraswati keeps blessing all of us to do our job better as we try to serve the nation. I was really impressed. I heard about Microlit and I asked Harshpati ji, what does Microlit do? And he quickly was able to Google and come up with the story. And I must compliment you. It's wonderful to see the innovative work that you are doing in your company. Please keep up this spirit of inquisitiveness, spirit of inquiry, and keep creating newer and newer products for all of us in India to use. I'm glad that you have Dr. J.S. Juneja Award for Creativity and Innovation in the MSME sector, a sector which truly deserves recognition, because some of them are doing wonderful work. And I think none of us, at least the large industries, could possibly survive without the MSMEs. As a nation, we could not survive without MSMEs. They are the largest creator of jobs, the largest creators of value, the largest exporters, and of course the largest contributors to the large company ecosystem. And recognition for the MSME sector is always very, very welcome. I must thank AIMA for instituting this award. Thank you, Dr. Juneja, for supporting this award. And I do hope the AIMA will continue to involve the MSME sector in the various programs in an even larger way going forward. Before I started, I took the liberty of taking the permission of Mr. Kirloskar and Mr. Singhania to be a little out of the box in my comments and speak my mind. Of course, must be one of those rare occasions where I've taken permission because more often than not I do speak my mind, possibly at great cost to my my own personal friendships, my own personal image, like the comment I made in one of the programs, was it at FICCI or ASSOCHAM or somewhere, which was also probably a little out of turn or maybe not the right choice of words. But I do believe that it's good to be frank and honest rather than beat around the bush. You know, when you come to a program, they give you tons of papers. I've got a lot of speaking points. I've got a lot of material to read out from. But that would be very boring and certainly not what you invited me here for. But I was just sharing with Mr. Singhania and Mr. Kirloskar, and compliments to you on 100 years. It's really, Kirloskar as a brand and as a family and as a company also does us proud. You come from my home state, so I feel doubly happy at your completing 100 years. And I pray and wish you success for many, many 100 years ahead of us. But I was just sharing my thoughts with Harshpati ji that India has such a rich pool of management talent. Sir Ramadurai just represents one amongst millions of people who have devoted lifetimes serving the nation, serving corporations, serving businesses, serving government, and have proven capabilities as managers. I would suspect not less than 100,000 good managers come out of India, retire every year. Maybe from government, central, state, PSUs, these large corporations, other companies. Now I realize even the corporate cooperatives have such wonderful managers. Hotels, every aspect of life. There are managers who are handling, it could be a museum manager, it could be a restaurant manager, it could be a person who's managing the metros, it could be a person who's managing the corporation, the sewage treatment, anything. And I don't think I would be very much off the mark if I would venture to suggest that at least 100,000 would be retiring every year. So even, and I attend a lot of these functions in the railways particularly, where every 31st we have huge numbers who are retiring. So we have a function. In fact, I run out of new topics over the last 2.5 years. I have been attending so many of these that when I sit down in the function, I suddenly say, oh my God, now I have to think of something which I haven't said in any of the earlier functions. But I want to suggest to AIMA to see if we can create an ecosystem around the retired managers. And if we take only the last 10 years, there would be over 1 million people who have served in different capacities, in different roles, with different skill sets, who must have had some innovation to their credit, who must have brought in some new governance in their organization which should be unique to that business or to that activity. And each one of these comes with a wealth of knowledge at a retirement age of 58 or 60 or 65 that each of our different organizations have, you are actually at the prime of life with today's life expectancy and today's economic conditions. You are bubbling with enthusiasm and energy, and you suddenly realize you are 60 and you are retiring. You want to do so much more. You can do so much more. But often you don't find the right avenues. You don't find the right opportunities. You wish to serve the country but don't know where to begin. You realize that something is going wrong right in front of your eyes, but you don't know whether you wish to interfere or where to go to try to set it right. You may have solved a very intricate problem in your business or in your company, which can help hundreds of other companies. But you don't know how to propagate that, where to begin. Can we, in the first phase, look at creating a database? It can be done easily, it can be done voluntarily. And I hope none of the managers go to the Supreme Court and hire the top-notch lawyers to complain that our data is being compiled and therefore our privacy is being lost. You can keep the Aadhaar number out of that database, please. But imagine if we had that data and if we could connect the dots of what is required and what is available. If we could facilitate that kind of an interface between capability and requirement. We have today in the DPIIT, the industry ministry, I have 28,000 plus startups. Can you imagine if I could connect each of these startups with a person who has retired from a similar setup or that industry in which he is operating? A logistics person who has retired from Tata's. How well he could mentor a startup in the field of logistics. And imagine if 1 million managers become mentors to one person, just one person. Can you imagine the talent that we'll create going forward? We have 600,000 villages in this country. I wouldn't be surprised, other than Mr. Kirloskar and Singhania on the stage, if every one of us was to look back in, and maybe Mr. Munjal also, I include in what I'm going to suggest. Because I don't think Mr. Munjal came with the Kirloskar or the Singhania wealth over generations. And of course, if you go back 4 or 5 generations, this would apply to you too. But just like Brijmohan Munjalji one day came from some village to Ludhiana maybe, and started a cycle repair shop, was it? If each one of us was to look back in our family history, there was some individual, some enterprising entrepreneur, somebody who, maybe for pain of poverty, maybe for lack of opportunity, maybe for the drive that he had in him, possibly boarded a train and got out of that cocoon, got out of that village. And then, as circumstances happened, some of them by compulsion of the partition, came to cities, came to towns, experimented, innovated, created new ventures, was a startup at that point of time. We may not have had a fancy terminology, but started out big or small. Many succeeded, some didn't succeed, but failure was not a deterrent. They restarted, and it's thanks to that opportunity that they got. Maybe somebody would have mentored them through their journey. Maybe somebody held their hand at a difficult time. Maybe a good Samaritan supported them, could be a banker in a public sector bank. But thanks to that, each one of us got a quality education, got opportunities to make it good in life, become managers, and we are where we are. And if each one of us was to look back and say, okay, let me go back to my village. Let me go back there at least once and see what's the state of affairs. Can I adopt my village? Can I see what are the various programs? And governments of the day, whether center, state, come up with huge number of programs to support the people. But the connect of the programs to the last man at the bottom of the pyramid often is a path full of thorns. Often there is lack of awareness even of what is possible, what the person is entitled to. If you were to only connect your own village where you came from with all the schemes that are available between center, state, local bodies, panchayats, help create awareness, bring transparency and good governance to the local panchayat working, we could transform this country. And how? A $5 trillion economy is not just the Prime Minister's responsibility. It's not even the responsibility only of government at the center and states, or maybe 5,000 corporations. It's something which 1.3 billion people will have to be engaged in creating. And there's so much and more that we as managers can contribute to making that happen. Imagine if each one of us was to adopt a tribal child. You could transform 1 million lives in the next 5 years through the effort of AIMA. Just by adopting one child, seeing does he have a good shoe to wear? Does he have school books? Does he have a uniform? Can I help him with communication or an internet package? I have 5,500 stations across the country today, railway stations, where Wi-Fi is available. And I must thank Mr. Ramadurai. It's thanks to him and his colleagues at Tata's who funded 4,500 of those 5,500 stations. Pro bono, no questions asked. When I had offered that we'll brand Tata's, they said, no, we don't want even the brand. We just want technology to reach the last man at the bottom of the pyramid. And the idea behind it, which we initiated, and Mr. Ramadurai personally had a big role in that, everybody in this country knows the nearest railway station. We thought we'll take the children from all the schools and colleges, women, farmers, to the station. Each corporate, maybe even Amul, could adopt the stations near their setups. Sunil could adopt the railway stations maybe near his ancestral home, wherever he's investing with his new private equity fund. Harshpati has plants all over the place, can take up stations. Send a man every morning. On a motorcycle also he can take a few laptops, maybe a printer. Because many of these stations may not have strong rooms to keep it and stuff like that. Set it up at the Wi-Fi hotspot. Create a calendar, invite children, invite farmers, invite local people. Let them experiment. I mean, Murugesh, or what was the name of the person on whose life story Padman has been made. I don't know if any of you had the opportunity to see Padman. The story about the person in Tamil Nadu who started this low-cost sanitary pad manufacturing program. He was just a young person wanting to give sanitary pads to his wife and his sister, but couldn't afford it. But usme janoon tha. He had the drive that I will do it. He worked as a domestic in an engineering college professor's home. And the professor's child, when he heard the story, what he wants to do, why is he working as a domestic to earn some money? so that he can afford sanitary pads for his wife. The guy Googled, the child Googled and showed him, if you had this machine, you could make a low cost, yet highly hygienic sanitary pad. That's what inspired me to try and take Wi-Fi to all the stations. So that our young children, our people who are deprived of this facility can also start experiencing the world. But suppose if one of the managers who has retired would take this up every day to go and train the people there. Maybe one of the corporates could adopt it, provide the equipment, give him an honorarium if required. Can you imagine what a great contribution it could be to the local villages? Can you imagine if each manager adopted one village? There are only 600,000 all over the country. How we could take development and connect development to the last man in the country. I mean, we are not a government which says that, we send 100 rupees for the poor. 15 rupees reaches there, the rest goes in middlemen and dalals and corruption and all that. We are not that government. We brought in direct benefit transfer. We fought in the courts right up to the Supreme Court against a battery of the top lawyers. I'm not politicizing here. But every effort was made to derail Aadhaar. I don't know at whose behest. What was the intention to try and derail an effort to take direct benefit transfer so that the poorest of the poor gets 100 rupees out of the 100 rupees that you as taxpayers contribute? Wouldn't you want every rupee that you pay in taxes go to the last man, to the poorest man, and serve society? That was the effort which was sought to be derailed through the courts. Fortunately, the courts ruled rightly. And we now have a mechanism to take benefits directly to the last man. But imagine if you could bring in good governance into that. So we have a scheme. We want to give every farmer 6,000 rupees a year under PM Kisan. The lists come from the village. But if we could ensure that the lists are honest, they are connected to the bank account, they are connected to the Aadhaar account, there's no duplication, there's no person who's not eligible for it who takes that benefit, would that not be national service? If every poor is entitled to a home under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, and today I had Durga Shankar Mishra, the UD Secretary, Urban Development Secretary, visiting me, and I was asking him what's happening in the urban areas. He said, sir, we have sanctioned 10.2 million homes for a home in only the urban areas. Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana is separate. For the villages, it's separate. 10 million homes. Some are redeveloping their old home. Some are buying homes from the private sector. Some are building a new home on a piece of land. And there are standards. Every home has a toilet. Every home has clean water. Every home has electricity. Every home has cooking gas. It has a kitchenette. A nice, good home. It's not that it's just, क्या बोलते हैं, कागज पुर्जी नहीं, खाना पुर्जी नहीं कर रहे हैं. अच्छा घर दे रहे हैं लोगों को. आखिर देश की जनता ने और आप सबने प्रधानमंत्री को दूसरी बार अधिक मेजॉरिटी देके ऐसे नहीं चुना है. कुछ अच्छा काम किया होगा तभी चुना है. और अच्छा काम हो रहा है देश में. पर इमेजिन अगर हमारे ये मैनेजर्स उस काम में जुड़ जाते हैं तो इस काम को हम और कितना अच्छा कर सकेंगे. The multiplier, the force multiplier that each one of you can become is huge. And that is what I had taken the permission of Harshpati and Sanjay to request all of you. Can we take management to the next level? Mr. Ramadurai alluded to that in his comments. Can we all, each one of us, become a nation builder? Can each one of us take our governance and good management practices to the remotest parts of India? Can each one of us become a vigilant citizen so that wherever we see what is going wrong, we raise a voice against it? Can each one of us study all government processes and keep guiding us how we can make them simpler, non-obtrusive, without human interface, more and more automatic e-governance, self-certification in every aspect? I'm trying to do it in my own humble way in the railways, in the patents office in commerce and DPIIT, in the explosives department, the PISO, some organization called PISO, which I suddenly realized comes under me, but is a big bother to industry and business. We are now trying to change all the processes there. Indian boiler regulation, we've done lot of changes. I've already had 2 reviews, one as recent as day before yesterday or on Monday, possibly Monday or Tuesday, I don't recall now. And that because I have a personal issue with that. When I started out as an entrepreneur, my God, I'm getting old. Almost 37, 38 years ago, I had to deal with the Indian boiler regulation. And that's the first time I came to Udyog Bhavan. Could never have in my dreams imagined that a young entrepreneur like me will be sitting where I am today. Probably it was also a training for me on how to manage, and you all know what I mean by manage. To get an appointment for the boiler regulator or inspector to come and visit your plant and certify a furnace and the products that you make. But all that experience of so many years, Harshpati ji, of doing all that all of us were forced to do in our lives, is holding me in good stead when I'm trying to now improve those processes. But it will be incomplete without your support. Imagine if each one of you were to guide us, tell us all the wrongs that are happening in government for now decades. Tell us all that needs to be done more. Come up with ideas on how the same things could be done better. How quickly we could change systems, how quickly we can see the impact of that change. You become our monitors and hold us accountable with your vigilantism. And therefore, I think AIMA, a 64-year-old organization, will have to also now think of reorienting itself. Your annual award function, your foundation day, your programs all over the country are welcome. We appreciate it. I've attended programs in the past. And therefore, I don't even think you had to come to invite me. It was a letter that I received and I okayed it. I don't think anybody came to invite me. But I wanted to be a part of AIM. We respect and value your contribution to this country's great journey up to today and going forward. But that journey also cannot be where AIMA's Foundation Day is held in Meridian with 500, 400 people in attendance. AIMA's Foundation Day should have 100,000 people in attendance. You will have to have a greater outreach program. You will have to reach out to all the managers. Why are all the countries, corporations, even government, whose managers gain from this country, not involved even in organizations like AIM? I often feel very sad when I go to a CII program, FICCI program, ASSOCHAM program. I find the current president, the few past presidents and the incoming presidents, possibly a few office bearers, if at all they are public spirited, and period. The rest, I don't know where you all managed to get the rest of the room filled up from. But what is the level of involvement? But should there be a problem in your business or your industry, you would be running to CII, to FICCI, to AIMA, wanting to use all the strength that they have at their command, all the influence that they have, the way they can open doors in government, in every walk of life. At that time, everybody becomes super active. So I've increased the duty on toys, and the toy industry becomes super active. Why did they not improve the standards of toys in the past? Why did they not give our children better quality toys? Why did we kill our domestic industry and become dependent on low quality, inferior stuff coming from other countries? Where was the trade and community and industry and business when the nation needed them? And I think, Harshpati ji, all of you are doyens of Indian industry, captains of industry. Please take this message to all your colleagues and friends that associations are not to be taken lightly. Industry bodies, businesses are not something which you only go to when you are in trouble. These are organizations which have a national duty and a national role to play. Yesterday, CII had a fantastic engagement, which I actually said in my remarks, that in my 9 months as a Commerce and Industry Minister, I found yesterday's engagement one of the most exciting and best engagements. There's a body which again I didn't know until yesterday existed, called ASCON, Association of Councils or something, of different industry segments. 100 of them together. They gave me some fantastic ideas on what needs to be done to rejuvenate the Indian economy. But if ASCON and AIMA get together, with all the management expertise that all of you have, can you imagine how quickly we can start getting results out of all those lovely suggestions? Then CII, FICCI, ASSOCHAM, join your effort collectively. Can you imagine how quickly we can take all this to the entire country? And then if PhD Chamber and Indian Merchant Chamber and all in the local level, FAM and CIT and all of them get together, how quickly the ecosystem in India can be transformed. I think that's the vision that an organization like AIMA should have. Let us all, and Prime Minister actually by giving a $5 trillion target to all of us, has done great service to each and every one of us, because he's directed everybody's attention to a common goal. And believe me, it's a very achievable goal. Once we all take it upon ourselves, ये मुझे करना ही है, अनिवार्य है, ये मेरे जीवन का लक्ष्य है. अर्जुन सरस्वती कोट हुआ है तो मैं अर्जुन को कोट कर देता हूँ, कृष्णा को कोट कर देता हूँ कि अर्जुन की आंख की तरह लक्ष्य अगर हम सबका 130 करोड़ लोगों का लक्ष्य हम इसको बना देते हैं तो इमेजिन करिए. और 5 ट्रिलियन का एक महत्व है. ऐसा मत समझिए कोई हवा में से एक 5 ट्रिलियन का फिगर निकला. विश्व के इतिहास को देखिए. You will find in world economic history that when nations have come to the cusp of about $3,500–4,000 per capita income, from that stage they can really take off very rapidly. Because at $3,500–4,000 per capita income, you are basically able to eliminate poverty. You are able to at least take the entire nation have a certain basic level of living. Obviously, you don't achieve that also without improving processes. In India, we have the added advantage of purchasing power parity at $3,500–4,000 per capita being equal to about $7,000–8,000 per capita income on a PPP basis. And at that level, we can really take off. The country can go into another trajectory of growth from there. Hence the significance of 5 trillion. And I would urge each and every one of you to work in that spirit of cooperation and collaboration so that we can all contribute to the Prime Minister's vision and the nation's mission to achieve a $5 trillion economy by 2025. As one of the earlier speakers said, while talking about innovation and its importance, that it's the innovators who are winning in today's day and age. And if I can quote from Eric Pearson, who said, it's no longer the big beating the small, but the fast beating the slow. Let's all work together with that missionary speed, with that speed of conviction, commitment, and action. Let us all bring speed into our own engagement with nation building. Let us all bring speed to implementing programs and projects so that each one of those reach out to 130 crore Indians and truly make India the superpower or the world's best economy, which it once upon a time was. Can we in this generation, in our lifetime, work to bring back that glory to our country that it once enjoyed and leave for our next generations a great country to live in? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir, for your insightful address. May I now request Mr. Harshpati Singhania, Senior Vice President, IMA, to deliver the concluding remarks.
Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Minister of Railways and Commerce, Government of India, Mr. Sanjay Kirloskar, President IMA, Rekha Sethi, Director General IMA, past presidents, council members of IMA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to propose the concluding remarks at this remarkable Foundation Day of IMA. Piyush ji, thank you very much for joining these celebrations and sharing your thoughts. And as you yourself remarked, you don't need permission from anybody. We, in fact, welcome this because we want to hear things. You see, we look at things in a particular way, and if there is somebody who has a different perspective, that is something. So you've not just graced the occasion, you have, if I may put it, you have added value. Thank you very much for all of this. Thank you for also sharing and explaining a little bit more about the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of achieving a $5 trillion economy. And we are confident, all of us in this room, that with leaders like you at the helm, we will also be able to achieve that sooner than people expect. Thank you very much once again for handing over the awards. Congratulations to the winners of IMA Awards on their outstanding achievements. You have provided excellent models of ethical success in your respective fields, and I believe that each one of us in this room can learn something from you. And thank you for also sharing your thoughts on this occasion. They are truly valuable. Mr. Ramadorai, it is our honor to felicitate you. You were the guiding light of the Indian IT services industry in its crucial nascent periods, and you have made a great contribution to the skill modernization in this country. If IT had not happened in the way you people envisioned it, a lot of other things, it's not just IT, all the startups that the Honorable Minister talked about would not have been there. So it's not just IT at one level, but it is all over. So congratulations to you once again. Sodhi ji, your work with the farmers of Gujarat is exemplary for any domestic enterprise. Amul has proven that a homegrown rural enterprise can not only be an equal, but actually beat multinationals at marketing and supply chain, besides bringing huge income to our rural community. Amul clearly contributes to our Prime Minister's vision of doubling farmers' income, and again compliments on your award. Congratulations to Mr. Harish Bhatt for writing the most amazing article in the Indian Management, and to Microlit, represented by the father and son duo of Mr. Jain, for being the most creative and innovative MSME. What you have shown and what you have achieved is truly remarkable. Dr. Juneja, as a past president, of course, of IMA, congratulations to you for putting together an important book on innovation which is a subject that the minister also talked about. And I think it is very relevant in today's day and age. I'm sure the book will help readers in managing it, particularly in the MSME sector. Friends, India is at the cusp of a great change. Digitalization is transforming the economy by altering the methods of production, trade, consumption, and compliance. This change is happening very dramatically, and adjustment has its challenges. IMA is trying to help by getting Indian management to focus on this disruptive transition and show the way to turn challenges into opportunities. Our aim is to help Indian management to become more agile and innovative. There are also challenges for management posed by technology. Digitization drives down prices, and digital business models shift value creation and capture. Aggregators become more dominant than producers, and automation enables higher output with lesser labor. This flux in technology creates uncertainty of policy, investment, and jobs. And management leaders therefore have to provide clarity and stability in this environment. The new economy demands new management skills and tools, and perhaps continuous learning is the only way to adapt. I am sure Indian management will prove its mettle and gain an edge in the new global race for business growth. Honorable Minister, I think your thoughts on some of these subjects, and particularly on your remarks about how IMA should actually increase its outreach. So far, IMA has been involved with developing management education. IMA runs many programs, but certainly with your remarks as to how do we spread this, including managers who are, if I may use the term, technically retired, but they still remain managers. And we are now seeing the contribution that they are making post their official retired life. We are seeing a lot of our institutions being manned by them. But I agree with you entirely that the percentage of the talent we have to what we are able to see productively engaged. And if we have to achieve this $5 trillion economy, we need each and every one of them. So thank you once again for your thoughts. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again for being here as being part of the celebrations of our 64th Foundation Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Singhania. In our endeavor to push the Go Green initiative, we now request IMA President, Mr. Sanjay Kirloskar, to present a small green token to the Honorable Minister. Thank you, sir, for your presence here today. Thank you, Mr. Kirloskar, for doing us the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we have come to the end of the program this evening. I wish to thank you all for joining us here today to celebrate IMA's 64th Foundation Day and the 14th National Management Day. I would once again like to thank our sponsor, Kirloskar Brothers, who have supported us at this celebration. And I invite you all to please join us for high tea, which is being served at the Desire pre-function area. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.